Washington.
Hey everybody, I'm Joe Miller. Here's what's going on in the world of tech, law, and policy this week. Somehow, a U.S. government server running on Microsoft's Azure government cloud was unsecured, exposing U.S. Special Operations Command, USSOCOM data, including sensitive personnel information. Security researcher Anurag Sen discovered the breach last week, and the Department of Defense patched it up after spilling data for 2 weeks. USSOCOM told TechCrunch that no data breach had occurred, but nobody really knows. 38 months. That's all Garret Miller got for assaulting officers and tweeting a threat at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying assassinate AOC during the January 6th, 2021 Capitol Riot. Miller, a 36-year-old from Texas, was sentenced to 38 months for assaulting officers and threatening Representative Ocasio-Cortez and running around with a rope and grappling hooks. Vice reports that ICE's $22 million contract with LexisNexis gives the agency unfettered, warrantless access to millions of data points. LexisNexis also links public records between agencies, including the Secret Service. 80 civil society and immigration advocacy groups have urged the Department of Homeland Security not to renew LexisNexis's contract when it expires on February 28th. 38-year-old Sam Bankman-Fried may be safe living at home with his parents while he's out on bail, but the charges against him following the implosion of the FTX cryptocurrency exchange he founded are piling up. Federal prosecutors allege Mr. Bankman-Fried used straw donors to evade campaign contribution limits hundreds of times using money from FTX customer accounts. Stat reports that machine learning models to predict stroke risk are mediocre, not much better than simpler algorithms, and they're even worse at predicting stroke risk for black men and women compared to white patients. Researchers proposed connecting electronic health records with local community data. The markup reports that Kroger, the supermarket chain that includes Harris Teeter, reports your data to countless brands, including General Mills and other unknown data brokers. We're talking 2,000 variables about you times the billions of other transactions from customers just like you over the years. They're collecting facial recognition data, your demographic data, your household data every time you enter your phone number at the cash register. They're tracking your online shopping cart and making all sorts of predictions about you when all you were trying to do was buy a bag of mandarin oranges. And the markup says the problem will get worse if Kroger and Albertsons' $24.6 billion merger goes through. Also, the Wall Street Journal reported that federal law enforcement arrested OZ Media CEO Carlos Watson for misleading potential investors, misreporting audience numbers and who the other investors were. The Verge reports that video game maker Valve has cracked down on cheaters, banning some 40,000 users for accessing a cheat honeybot in Dota 2. And finally, a science fiction magazine had to cut off submissions after being inundated with AI-generated submissions. To go deeper, you can find links to all these stories in the show notes. Stay safe, stay informed, have a great week. Ciao.
Washington.